We are live.
Sundays and Wednesdays, yeah. 8 o'clock on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. It's the crew and you. Let's go.
You can't get any better.
Best thing about it, the way he did it the right way.
With the crew and you, to the crew and you.
Do y'all have anything to say about
What up, baby? Welcome to the crew and you. Congratulations to my dog, Chuck Little John, the OG.
Y'all didn't know I've been changing hats all night, have you?
No.
You've been doing that. And so look, let me tell you, those dudes were the first one that I ever seen with the full tracksuit and no drawers. You know what I'm saying?
Understand that you can be at the bottom, you can be anything you want to be, and when that happens, you can be a champion like me.
Can you imagine 100 people just all yelling?
With the crew and you, to the crew and you. With the crew and you, to the crew and you.
Sundays and Wednesdays, yeah.
What up? Welcome everybody out there to the crew and you. I'm the OG. Right here to my right-hand side, we got the Caters. Why, man, why? And I'm sure we will get into that in just a few minutes. Y'all won't have to ask why for long. I want to welcome everybody out there right now. Kamari White first in the barbershop chair. Thank you for joining us out there. Bill Harris, thank you for joining us, sir, on this playoff Sunday.
So watch TV and then we'll do it.
Actually, I tried to.
Kamari already putting comments out here. But just want to welcome everybody out there. Please, if you're out there, put your name in the chat so we can holler at you and recognize you. And because this is an interactive show. So please put your name in the chat. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. But thank y'all out there for joining us. That out there now. I know my man G has his little saying, but all I can say is thank you for joining us. Bring somebody with you next time, and make sure you subscribe.
Right.
Don't come by yourself. Don't come by yourself. So we got a great show for y'all today. We go talk about the coaching carousel, which I'm sure my man Corey has a lot to say about that. We're gonna talk about these playoff games. Yesterday and today, and the one we have going on right now. Then we'll touch a little bit on the NCAA championship game that's coming up tomorrow night. We'll touch a little bit on that, as well as I have one thing I want to mention. And we'll get to that later on today. So yeah, but before we get into our first segment, let's go ahead and thank one of our sponsors for sponsoring this first segment. And that would be Cooking Dad's Drink Reviews.
Cooking Dads.
You know, everybody drink responsible.
You don't want to take the opinion of a stranger.
You know, everybody.
Play anytime now.
You know, everybody drink responsible.
You don't want to take the opinion of a stranger. That type of advice is just not for you. Because you're at that time of the day where you don't want to waste your money. And your plan is to throw back a shot or two. You're not necessarily an alcohol person. And picking out a brand is fairly new. If you want something to go with your burger, possibly a steak, then check out Cooking Dad's Drink Reviews. Remember, drink responsibly and click that subscribe too. And go with the one the crew and you trust. Cooking Dad's Drink Reviews.
You know, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Cook and Dash, for being our as our wonderful sponsor of our first segment.
So let's just go ahead and jump right on in here. We go. No, we got a lot of comments out here about this topic already. So we might as well go ahead and bring our resident Falcon fan in on on these topics that people are saying about his team. Got Phil Harris saying, "What are the Falcons thinking?" Just also said, "What's up, crew?" Got Phil Harris out here talking about Go Canes too. We're gonna talk about that a little bit also, Phil. Kamari out here, LOL, when Grandpa hosts the show. What you trying to say, Kamari?
All right.
Actually, saying technical, we get to go to technical difficulty. Yeah, sometimes that happens, actually, but we'll get past it. And that's what happens when you don't do it a lot. G usually handles the behind the scene part of it, so just trying to fill in tonight. But in the meantime, we're gonna start out with the coaching carousel. Now we could talk about other coaches that have picked up jobs so far, but we're gonna start with the team in the ATL. Now, for those of you that weren't here last week, we had a little segment where we were rating coaches. Some coaches were said that, I mean, Corey said there was some coaches that he did not want, and some coaches he did want. But one of the coaches that he specifically said that he didn't want would happen to be Kevin Stefanski, who is now officially the new coach of the Atlanta Falcons. So, Corey, can you tell us how you really, I know we've seen your little snippet on TikTok and all, but can you tell us how you really feel about this? And before you start, I did mention that little chat line that karma is something else. But anyway, I'll talk about that karma a little bit later.
So you know what, and I'll say that. So you did say that, and I remember your brother chimed in right after you, right after Big Brother. He wanted to say something too, but I ain't gonna lie to you, it ain't karma. This is what Falcons do. It's something crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, whenever he was like, your karma coming back to hunt, it ain't, because we wouldn't have done right anyway. Even if we would have had the chance with Tomlin, we wouldn't have done right. Like I was saying before, the best, like say for example, at that point, though Tomlin is not in the coaching carousel right now for somebody to have because he wants to, take some time out. But just imagine, we interviewed this dude via Zoom call. We didn't bring him in. We had a Zoom interview meeting with him, with one of the best ones out there. This is why we didn't get him. This is why the Giants did as well as they did. They flew him in. The owner flew this man in with his wife, and I'm not letting you go until we come up with a deal. Tell me what you want. That's a winning attitude. That's how you get somebody. Wouldn't have done Tomlin like that. You can't just say, "Hey, Tomlin, the Zoom call is at 11 o'clock." No, that's not how you tell a 18-year veteran coach that you want him here. That's why we didn't win. So that's what I'm saying. When you say karma, it ain't about karma because we do stupid stuff anyway. Yeah. My Lord. Keep on ringing the doorbell. Goofy. Yeah, go. But I'm sorry. And I go back to, you're right. Now, the karma is the fact that he was my worst coach. He was the worst one that I wanted to get. And the Falcons go, you know what? Let's get him. Let's get him. Though this guy's had the same problem for 5 seasons. He had 13. And if you've seen my post, yes, I went on live when I realized that we picked this guy, and I had to express how I felt. This in the past 5 seasons, he has had 5. That's not yours. He has had 13. That's not yours. Move. He's had 13 quarterbacks. 13 quarterbacks, which makes no sense to me. And and there was a guy, Mr. Chimes, on my post that said, like a typical Falcons fan. It's not a typical Falcons fan. If you've had 13 quarterbacks and you couldn't figure out how to get, and okay, let me tell you this too. Because he said you got 2-time MVP. I'm sorry, what is it? Coach of the year. Mm-hmm. I got a theory for that. When he got his first one in 2000. The coach before him was Kitchens. Kitchens had he drafted Baker Mayfield and Garrett. That was his little draft. Now I know we bumped heads on the coach before you take it. Now he didn't win nothing. He didn't win no championship, but he did 5 games better. that following season, right? With somebody, but ask me what he did the year after that. He did 8-9 the previous year. After you just did coach of the year, the following year you got 8-9. Then you get a Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson. Then you add Amari Cooper, Odell Beckham Jr. the following year, and then you go back to 11-6. And then what you do? You cut Baker. You cut him, cut Odell, cut Amari. Then you go back to 8-9 again. So yeah, I don't give you credit whenever you make it happen. Then you drop off, and then you drop off some more. On top of that, you have the worst quarterback carousel that we've ever seen. And I think we criticized, I know I did most of this season on how he did Shador. You get fired, and then the Atlanta Falcons go, you know what? Another man's trash is another man's treasure. You know, and I think you could do better over here. No, don't pick nobody that just got fired. You pick somebody that's a winning, that has a winning pedigree. You know what I'm saying? It baffles me on how we do things. And I ain't gonna lie to you. If I was Matt Ryan when you first come in, this is your first pick as president of personnel. This your first pick. A trash owner. I'm sorry, not a trash coach. Come on, man. It frustrates me a little bit, OG. Uh-oh. Are we still alive? Look like the OG is he may have.
What happened?
Oh, that's you right there. Can you hear me? There you go.
Yeah, I froze for a minute. Sorry about that.
That's okay. But am I making a little bit of sense here?
Yeah, you make a little bit of sense, but I guess the question I have is I know how Falcons fans can tend to be. Been to a few Falcons games when they play my team.
Okay.
But so we're gonna do a positive side first. So suppose he comes in and they win and they start winning.
Okay. You gotta do it 2 years in a row.
Okay, so you gotta do it 2 years.
You gotta do it 2 years.
One year not good. No, one year not good enough to start off with. Because you automatically say he got to do two.
Because he's done 1 year good before. That's how he got the coach of the year. Now let's remember the second coach of the year when he brought in Flacco, and then they won 6 games in a row with Flacco. You know what I mean? That's how you won. No, that's how you win your second one. Flacco came in and they got to the playoffs.
Okay, so like you said, and we kind of at odds with the coaching and the coaching, the predecessor, the coach that comes in after the coach that gets fired or leaves or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So how long does he get with the fact that he's coming in with a team that the previous coach has? So we could take it a different avenue. In the past, we're talking about if you come in and win, then that previous coach to get some credit. So how long do you give a new coach coming in that has a team, basically a hand that he's being dealt? How long do you give him to turn things around and bring in his type of squad?
So I'm going to give him the same amount that we just gave Raheem. You got 2. You get 2 out of me. Now, mind you, beforehand, to answer the same question, the coach that you have currently, that was my guy, and then he took us to the Super Bowl in his first year. And then he fell off the Grand Canyon cliff, every year after that. But he brought in a different mentality. I ain't gonna lie to you. Do you expect for a person to take to the Super Bowl the first year? No. But you want to see, let's say, for example, this year we got 8 wins. Last year we had 7. Year before that we had 8. Then the year before that we had 8. Or 7 and 8 is where we normally hover at, right? Get me 10. And then I'll say, okay, maybe you're doing something right. Get me somewhere where I feel like we're competing for the playoffs. And I'll say, okay, I admit it, I was wrong. Because I'm going at this as this is my eye test and where you just came from. You see what I'm saying? Now, You're right. We are a fickle fan group, and the only reason why we're that is because we've been losing for so long. You know what I mean? Stop bringing me the mediocre coach. Stop bringing me the ugly dude. You know what I'm saying? Stop bringing me the dude that has potential to win. I don't want to hear that no more. I want to get the guy that can win. So as much as, remember on the last show, I was giving Rodney Hill on it. I would take Tomlin, but we'll do him wrong. We'll do him wrong.
So you've also said that some coaches are not ready for Atlanta.
We're not ready for them.
Y'all not ready for them.
That's what I'm saying. We're not ready for Tomlin.
Okay.
We don't deserve it. But that's what I'm saying. How we just did Harbaugh with an interview. That's why I said we probably would have text message Tomlin. Hey man, you got an interview at 5 via text. We Zoom called Harbaugh. We missed his brother 2 years ago. We just don't know how to do a real coach like that. We're not ready for a coach to say, hey man, that's a dumb decision. I don't want to coach this junk here. Would you want a head coach that's just went through 13 quarterbacks and then figure it out?
You know, can we say that? I know we say this about players, but can coaches be in a different situation and be successful?
They got to be. This is your job.
I know. I'm saying though, I know we talking about him going through 13 quarterbacks, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But one thing he's coming into in Atlanta now is who's gonna be the quarterback?
Don't do it. Don't say it. That's what I'm saying, man. You give him the same thing that he just had. Oh, I know how to do this. Let me get me another. Let me pick him. And you want to try the quarterback? You want to come over here? That's the worst. That's the worst thing to get him do the same thing that he like as a coach. He just said, you know what? I just got the job and I'm finna do the same thing.
Well, I'm gonna ask these questions. So Kamar's got a question. He want to know if the season ticket holders have any say or vote on head coach candidates.
No, that lady called me. Let me tell you what she did today. She called and said, we'll give you a discount if you pay it all up front right now. I said, I might not come back. I don't care about your discount. You just pick somebody that I don't want you. I'm paying for this. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you. I would have rather my man that's kicking butt out there in Seattle right now. You know, they wearing them jokers out. You see his offense? We didn't consider that. We didn't want to wait for that. We rushed to get Stefanski. Like he was about to be gone.
But James Jones say he's bringing his OC with him too.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You're gonna bring us the same. You're gonna move in the same old furniture that you just came from with. Man.
In the score say they need to trade for Shador to reunite the dynamic duo.
I would love to do it here, but
everybody coming at you, Corey.
Hey man, but you coming at me because you see what craziness is right now that the Atlanta Falcons are putting us through. Well, they put me through. You know what I mean? And then after that, look, we interviewed 3 other people just right before we gave Stefanski his job. We still interviewing Zoom interviews at Atlanta. Nobody came in. It's Zoom interviews.
So
you don't want no, huh?
Kamar said, does the organization make the coach or does the coach make the organization?
We have to show him whatever coach you bring in. We got to show him the coach that's down here. If you've ever been to an Atlanta game versus going to let's say if you go to Seattle, if you go to Washington, if you go to I've been to a few. When you come here to Atlanta, you're going to hear all this black stuff going on. I ain't going to lie to you. Welcome to Atlanta where the players play, swagging and surfing. Everything is predicated amongst, I'm not trying to be funny or racist. The black season ticket holder. And I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? They put in some white stuff here, and that's true. But 90% or 75% of the season ticket holders are people of color. So you got to, make it, you will see it if you have gone to a Falcons game. But that culture that you're coming down here to, that coach has to be a part of the culture. That's one thing I can say about your coach. Coach Quinn came in and he embraced they called it the brotherhood. He did. He was a part of it. I got that. Now, Arthur Smith, was he a part of it? No. You got to go.
But Phil has that's the question I was going to ask, but I'm going to let him ask it.
What was that?
He said, "You think that they chose that coach over McDaniel? Would you have chosen McDaniel if it was out? If it was out between them two coaches."
Yeah, that's a weird dude too, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Because now I remember last show I asked you, would you want him? You said no.
Yeah, that's a weird dude, man. I'm still putting that on it. No, that's a weird dude, man.
So you rather have who you have versus him?
No, I don't want him either. They both
don't want neither one of them.
I didn't want neither one, man. Like I said, my first guy was somebody they didn't even think about calling, which was, remember I said McCarthy.
Right.
Like I said, then when Harbaugh came available, I wanted Harbaugh. But then, like I said, moved down to I keep forgetting his name. Goodness gracious, Craig. What's the offensive coordinator at Seattle right now?
Can't stop.
I know, right? He has the pedigree too. He had, his dad was in the. Let me see here.
But you wouldn't consider him, though.
I did. That was my second and third choice. I wouldn't.
No. Not based on your previous statement.
No, I'm saying from what I see him doing right now as an OC, he's kicking butt. I'd rather somebody. Remember, I said I wanted somebody that had experience. But if I'm picking somebody for a first timer, you got to show me something, and he's been doing well. That's what I'm saying. They wanted to do something like that. I said I would pick him, but I wanted experience. You're right, OG. I was telling. That's why I said McCarthy. I wanted Harbaugh. I wanted somebody that had experience at doing the job, not their first time. That wouldn't have been my first thing. But if it came down to it, at this point, I didn't want Kevin Stefanski as much. He come with 5 years of experience. I don't want his 5 years.
So
everybody else was,
Clint Kubiak.
That's what I keep the Kubiak family. Yeah.
So in the school saying, call me crazy, but I kind of see the vision. I feel Stefanski may be good for us. LOL. But
we'll see. Why are you putting LOL? Laughing out loud by yourself. So, okay. At this point now, you're here. You know what I'm saying? They've already married the guy. It's sort of like if I had a daughter. She done already married the dude. Now I got to figure out how he is. Now, if he cheat on you, if he don't do well, all I can say is I told you so. If he end up being a good son-in-law over time, she's already done this. So the Falcons have already, created their nuptials with Stefanski. Now, this is the crazy part for me. My wife is over there like, good riddance. Y'all can have that trade. Good. She was laughing last night at me when it first happened. She didn't want to tell me.
James just said McDaniel is a good coach.
He is. I just say he's a weird dude. I don't want him. He's just a weird dude to me. He be at the game high as I don't know what. At least he be looking crazy. I don't know. But he's had a problem too with his. I don't want a fired coach. You see what I'm saying? I'd rather me go and take somebody, or we didn't come up with a deal.
Whoa.
What?
You don't want a fired coach? Who was your number one pick?
Well, McDaniel. What you call it? Yeah, he was fired.
Harbaugh was fired coach.
Yeah, he was fired. He was freshly fired, but I think that's because he had done too many years in one situation. Sort of like just like Tomlin. We knew that they were going to get a job somewhere, but you don't get a losing guy. Tomlin he's going to work. Whenever he comes back next year, he's going to work. John Harbaugh didn't take him long. He had been fired a week and a half, and he already has another job. You see what I'm saying? There's no reason why Stefanski should be working right now. If anything, put him back as an OC, but We gave him a shot. We acting like it was other teams that was out there that was finna take him. Nobody was gonna take him.
I actually.
All right, so we were talking about Harbaugh for a minute. I mean,
wait a minute,
with the Giants
hold
now.
Wait a minute. Let me throw this.
Okay.
Since you were coming at me with the same question, if you were me, would you take this guy? Tell me what you think. Give me your opinion on what just happened with my Atlanta Falcons. Did we make a good pick?
I would be upset too. I mean, based on we've been on. I'm not mad for being upset. I guess because, and it's all. I guess if things hadn't turned out the way they turned out this year in Cleveland, then maybe some people would view him in a different light.
Yeah.
But with the way things turned out in Cleveland this year, so he's seen in a different light than a two-time coach of the year. And some people are.
Right.
Except for the ownership and the leadership of the Atlanta Falcons.
What you mean? Oh, they saw it differently.
They see it differently than everybody else.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So you do see it at least.
Right, and it's based on how he ran things in Cleveland this past year.
Yeah.
So NF Skull is saying, what are some of the problems with Stefanski other than losing? So I guess NF Skull, you didn't see what happened in Cleveland this year.
What you mean?
Yeah, with Shador and Dylan Gabriel. I guess some people may not see that as being a problem. I guess we all saw it as being a problem. And we saw that we all thought that Shador should have been playing ahead of Dylan Gabriel, but he was the head coach. He made that decision, and then Dylan Gabriel didn't hit the field again. I think he got hurt because Shador finished out the season. And what I heard now, I know we lean into a different way talking about Cleveland. And Kanisha could correct me if I'm wrong, but what I heard is the competition is going to be between Watson and Shador, and Dylan Gabriel is kind of on the back burner right now. That's kind of the chatter I heard.
That's crazy.
But, yeah.
So let me help you a little bit here, NF Skull. All right. So, and this is just my view since 2005 when he got there. When he got there, he had a first. Now, mind you, this dude has had 3 Heisman Trophy winners playing for him. 3, right? So. You got Baker, you got Deshaun, and who was that? Who was his third guy?
Heisman, did he?
Deshaun Watson did? Okay. Well,
I don't think Deshaun Watson won the Heisman.
Okay. It was just Baker? Okay, good job.
Just Baker.
Just Baker. Okay. So, well, let me change that. He's had 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
3 first-round picks. All right. So when he gets there, he has Baker Mayfield, right? Baker, then Baker has a problem with Odell. Remember they had their problem. Then you get rid of Baker and Odell. Then you bring in, like I said, a host of other quarterbacks along the way. DTF, I think I said it on my chat or whatever. Then you bring in $259 million of problem that he had to okay. Then this guy can't play, and then you bring in Amari Cooper to help him out. Amari couldn't do it. Then you get rid of Amari. You had Jason. What's the other dude? Waddell on the other side, the other wide out that came from Miami. You've had pieces and structured here, but in the process, you can't win. But like I said, then you win. Like right after your first year, your first year there, you win Coach of the Year at 11-5. Then you drop off to 8-9. Then you have another 8-9 season. Then you come back with, like I said, your first Deshaun Watson year. Then you some kind of way he got hurt. Then you bring in Flacco, and Flacco wins 7 games for you. You didn't plan for it, but like I said, that's what got you another Coach of the Year. But then 2 years later, you've had 2 terrible seasons. So I can't give you credit if you can't be if you can't continue to be good. At least don't show drop-offs.
But can he be blamed for all of that? I know what I mean is, and I'm sure his management made that decision to bring Deshaun Watson into it. It wasn't just him.
It was.
But you got to pay a lot of money. But keep in mind, Corey, Deshaun Watson has not paid a full season in Cleveland since he's been there.
At all.
So i.e., the reason for the quarterback carousel. But I think Jameis Winston was there at one time too, wasn't he?
Jameis, another one that wasn't terrible, but he was good. He was just good and terrible. You know, you running the offense that somebody else tell you about.
Right, but I'm saying though, can all of it put on him because they put all their marbles in Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson has not played a full season since he's been there.
Deshaun Watson, I think they said 13 games has it been, or maybe
somewhere around there, but not many. There. But
a good GM, and you would hope that this is how that dude was doing it. A good GM is supposed to go, hey, Charles, I got Davis over here. Can you work with him? Can he work your offense? Can he play in your offense? Who, Corey Davis? No, he can't. I can't do nothing with him, you know. Or you'll say, okay, what about Galen? I can work with him. You got nobody just give you stuff and say make it happen. You know, we want this guy, make it happen. But they were in that sweepstakes, and then he was cool with it, and then couldn't do it. And that may not all be his fault, but when we did see him playing, he wasn't playing good at all in that offense. They didn't give him time. They didn't do a whole lot of nothing when Deshaun was in there. Same way with Baker, running for his life, and you didn't want Baker anymore. Then you brought in, like I said, DDT. You brought in Driscoll. You brought in. It was a whole bunch of quarterbacks. Like I said, Jameis, they probably could have got something good out of Jameis. Just believe in him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the NF Skull, if you didn't see any of that, on top of that, me and OG have been critical of this dude all year when we knew Shador wasn't no 5th round pick. Then he ain't ready. He ain't ready. But then you come in, you put him in there, and it was the best quarterback you done had in a long time. You know, I think what was he 3-3, which ain't, you know, could have been better, but he was throwing it.
Right.
I just didn't want that. I just didn't want that here, especially after you get rid of your coach, you get rid of your GM, you get rid of your president of operations. If you're doing that, then you're supposed to say, all right, let's make it really happen. That's what I was hoping for, and that ain't no splash in the pan for me when you go, hey, let me pick somebody else's garbage.
So now since you got it, or is the Atlanta fan base going to give him a fair opportunity?
I'm not giving him one now.
I know you're not. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, it's your team. So now I know you're upset that they made the decision to hire him. Mm-hmm. But now you go have to give him a fair opportunity. I mean, he's the head coach of your team now.
So the problem I have is this: we don't have a 1st round pick, you know, in this draft coming up, right?
Oh, y'all don't?
No. He said y'all don't. We don't have a 1st round pick, right? If this coach is tough enough to be able to dig himself out that hole with a GM, we don't have a GM yet, you know what I'm saying? But we brought in this coach first. So now we got to get either a really, really strong GM. I don't know, OG, but I know right now he's getting a handful. They're getting a handful from people like myself, you know, and I've commented on a bunch of people's pages so far, and they posted on mine. You know what's gangster? Let me see here. I hadn't checked it in a couple of hours. My post that I put last night at 11 o'clock on TikTok and Facebook or whatever. Let me see. It's gotten 1,432 comments. Well, I can't respond to all that. But look, I was like, man, I was just getting something out of my chest. 1,432 comments. And some of them are good, some of them are bad. Some of them we got to give them a chance. Some of them are trash, garbage. You know, it's just, and all I'm doing is heart. Oh, yeah, you're right. But I ain't never listen. In all my little TikToks, my TikToks average about 300. This got 1,400 in less than 24 hours. Comments.
Oh,
so I would say this here. You're right.
Mad.
Yeah. Huh?
I said some people may be mad, some people may be happy, but either way, he's here. You can make other comments you want to, I guess, being disgruntled or whatever the case may be, but he's here now. So, hey. You got to play this hand you've been dealt.
Yeah, if he comes in and he wins, a lot of people, it don't take much because I said Atlanta fans are fickle. You win, hey man, I knew he was gonna be okay. If he not, it'd be like it's Falcon stuff all over again. All I know is I still got a couple of weeks to decide if I'm.
So it seems to be a hot topic for you, Corey. So NF Skull saying, do you think that our ceiling / floor is higher or lower or higher now compared with Morris, with Raheem? So I guess the question in a different wording, would you rather have Stefanski or would you rather have kept Morris?
Man. I can't say neither. Yeah, I can't say neither. I guess I'll go with
answer that question. Just answer inner skills because he want to know if your ceiling
is higher or lower.
Higher or lower compared to Morris.
I don't know. All we know what Morris was, right? Morris, he won the last 4 games. They were trending up or whatever. And we beat some of the best teams out there this year. And we lost to some of the worst teams out there this year. It was just so upside down, right? We 1 game from being in the playoffs in my division. It could have been better, but I know y'all laughed at me a lot this season when I started, but you asking me that question compared to okay. We seen what he did at Cleveland. So I would say the ceiling is lower than it was in when I had with Morris. I think, it's not higher.
Okay, based on the last year, but you've also seen what he can do. He can produce a winning team. Morris never did produce a winning team in Atlanta so far.
He did not. You're right.
Stefanski did produce a playoff winning team in Cleveland at one point.
And that's what we give him. He produced 1 winning team, fell off 2 years. Then the winning team fell off. Morris could have done it next year. He probably could have on the third year produced a winning season, but they only gave him 2 years.
You want him gone anyway, Corey.
You goddamn right. I should did.
I think you say maybe he could have, but you want him gone too.
I want him gone too, man. Get your stuff. Yeah. How does it get out? And I'm gonna do the same thing with Stefanski if he do that same thing after 2 years. Enough, Okay, am I wrong by saying this? The NFL has gone to this point in the league where you got 2 years to show some improvement, or you on the hot seat. I think you have put coaches and players on hot seats.
So let me ask you this then. So, okay, you say you got 2 years. Mm-hmm. So if he comes in first year and wins, so then his 2 years go from there. Now you got 3 years.
Yes.
So basically, that's what I should be doing to my coach too. Then, because my coach came in winning, so now he got 2 more years. He got this year's the second year. So if he don't produce next year, I should be wanting him to go.
See, your problem is this: you had terrible injuries. You know what I'm saying? So we know why the season went the way it is. Because honestly, Dan Quinn is a good guy. He is. I don't know if Stefanski is a good guy. All we know is that on the interviews, we got frustrated with how he did Shador. Right. Shador ain't ready. We felt like he was lying, coming up with stuff. I didn't want that because we had criticized the guy so much. You want the little dude. And then I heard this on my Falcons feed because if they don't bring Dylan, he gonna bring Dylan here because I don't have a quarterback. Yeah, I know, right? You see how your eyes got big? Oh. Right. You gonna bring in that junk here?
I told you that Dylan. They say Dylan is, third man right now. Ooh, they gonna bring Dylan. They might bring Dylan Gabriel along with his offensive coordinator.
You just give me that same stuff that. So now you understand my frustration.
Now we got a whole lot to talk about coming forward. It's gonna be interesting to see how everything.
You see how your eyes got big, OG.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how things progress moving forward.
Yeah. If I bring that type of stuff, let's say if I bring that stuff to your house, and you'll be upset, If I brought that to your team, if you know, like when Dan Quinn came here, he knew he couldn't bring the same GM, the OC and DC that he had when we were here. I got to get somebody else. I can't make the same mistake I made. This dude is finna bring the same trash with him because they understand my offense. So
But it may be a different scenery for the coach. He may do better here. I mean, you got Corey. He's here. You got to give him a chance, man.
I don't have a choice. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I say. You got to give him a chance. So before we transition to our second segment, let's give our sponsor, Cooking Dads, a shout out.
You know, everybody drink responsible.
You won't want to take the opinion of a stranger. That type of advice is just not for you, because you're at that time of the day where you don't want to waste your money, and your plan is to throw back a shot or two. You're not necessarily an alcohol person, and picking out a brand is fairly new. If you want something to go with your burger, possibly a steak, then check out Cooking Dad's Drink Reviews. Remember, drink responsibly and click that subscribe too, and go with the one the crew and you trust. Cooking Dad's Drink Reviews.
You know, everybody drink responsible.
Why I keep doing that? Hey,
everybody drink responsibly.
Yeah. So let's transition over to the playoff games.
That's what's up.
And let's go start with yesterday, with the first game yesterday. The Denver Broncos versus the Buffalo Bills yesterday.
Man.
To me, was a great game.
Who you picked?
I picked Denver.
You picked Bronco. Okay.
Well, who'd you pick?
I picked Buffalo. I did.
Oh yeah, which was a great game to me up until overtime when Denver decided to run some kind of crazy play with Bo Nix running to the sideline for whatever reason. And now, for those of you who don't know out there, this guy broke his ankle and is out for the rest of the season.
See, now I'm saying when you hold on. Now, was that a fluke? You know, to break your foot, you know, it was.
I think it was a fluke, but the thing I'm having a hard time understanding, and me and my brother we talked about it is, what was the purpose of the play? You come back the next play and take a knee. Why not take a knee to begin with and go ahead and kick the field goal? Why you run that play to the left side of the field? Yeah. Him out there by himself. It just didn't make any sense to me. I know I'm not a coach.
Yeah.
So I should be second guessing our head coach, you know. But I'm just saying. And I don't know if that was a play call or not. Did he change the play? I don't know. All I know is it ended up a terrible situation where he got injured and now he's out for the season. I mean, he won't be playing in the AFC Championship.
Right. Now, did he hit a divot? What broke? How did he break it? Did somebody roll on him? I mean, he was just.
I don't know. Because he came. I remember him coming back and taking a knee to get him in the center of the field for the field goal, and then went off the field.
He didn't know because he was like, "Man, something ain't right. Something ain't." Because I saw him when he was walking gingerly, and they were trying to figure out, "Oh, this doesn't look good," you know, because he was walking funny. But you're right. He came in and did the kneel, and they won the game. But right afterward, they knew something was wrong, you know, with his foot.
Yeah. But that game,
now, who's the backup?
He just said who the backup was. I can't remember what his name is. But I know that was a playoff. I mean, a turnover-prone game.
Oh man!
You know, with as many turnovers that Buffalo had, they should have been blown out in that game.
But the crazy part with me is you had them on the ropes. You had them on the ropes, and then, like I said, how my grandma used to call it buzzard luck. You know, and what's his name? The wide out Cook. Mm-hmm. You know, you almost catch one, and then like I said, the other guy was just happened to be rolling at the right time, and it just landed in his basket. That's just when you just got terrible interception, just got terrible luck.
Yeah, but I guess it's one play. I think toward the end of the game in regulation, I think the Bills had 3rd and 5, and Denver only rushed 2 guys.
Hey, that's crazy.
And they still ended up getting the first down. They had 9 back, and they still ended up getting the
first down. Yeah. A wild game.
The backup quarterback name is Jared Stidham.
Jared Stidham. Okay.
and Sam Ellinger is his backup. So it's gonna be interesting now. But yeah, that game, I mean, it's back and forth. Then it went to overtime, and I mean, the other crazy play was when the receiver for Buffalo had the ball, never had possession. They roll over, and the Denver DB end up with the ball.
And that's what I'm saying. That's one of the craziest lucky plays when you going down the field, and Josh was being real aggressive throwing it, and then you wide out. Cooks is right there. He has in his bread basket, and he rolls. And now let me ask you: they were trying to say that he was down by contact, or it shouldn't have been an incompleted pass. So I don't know what it was supposed to be, but I know the coach didn't really appreciate the call on the play call.
It wouldn't have been an incomplete pass, but the ball never hit the ground.
Right.
So what they saying is, that's what it looked like, that he never had, when he hit the ground, he never had full possession of the ball. The ball was still moving.
Yeah. Oh, they're saying it should have been a catch then, or what?
Well, it was a catch.
It was a catch, yeah.
But I'm saying they didn't rule him down because he didn't have full possession of the ball when he hit the ground. So the ground ball was still moving. They was jostling back and forth, and the Denver DB come up with the ball.
Yeah.
Basically,
right. And some of them throws, Josh was just wouldn't put him in the right spot. Because like I said, I was going for them. I was rooting for them, and then it just didn't go the way it was. And I mean, when I saw it at the end, I was like, it's over now. Just too much. Ain't enough time to recover from that.
But I think they were down by 11 or 12 points and came back and tied the game.
Yeah. They're always good for that.
Yeah, and then like I said, in overtime, they was driving down the field. I think when that interception, quote unquote, I guess to be interception happened, I think they were already in field goal range.
Yeah, right there.
To end the game. And then that's when Denver took the ball, drove it back down the field.
Only needed 40 yards.
They had some interference calls going down that drive down the field.
Yes, indeed. They helped them out a lot. Yeah, they got them all the way down there.
Yeah, and then they got in field goal range. And like I say, Bo Nix ran that crazy play, cost him his season, and they kicked the field goal to win the game.
Yeah. We got no time left.
Yeah. And now as we transition to the next game, which was San Francisco and Seattle.
Bruh.
Saturday night. See, I know San Francisco was hurt and they lost, I guess, players in this game too. But man, Seattle came to make a statement.
Molly Wop. That defense, Molly Whopping them.
And kind of like from the third play of the game.
Yeah. Look. So I sit down because I had been doing stuff, and I come in to try to catch some highlights and it was 41-6, and I was like, "Is this going on right now?" And I'm like, "What? Is this right?"
Yeah. I mean, Brock Purdy ran for his life all night long.
No time, man. No time. They asked Trent Williams, "Was he coming back?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm coming back." He said, and basically, he wanted to say, "It wasn't my side." It wasn't my side that had a problem, but yeah, they were riddled with injuries, man. Then you put in Mac Jones at the end or whatever, because I guess, like you just said, man, he been running for his life. There's no way to come back from this, but yeah, Seattle, like you just said, put a statement on it. Kubiak, they were just running whatever plays they wanted to run on that thing, man. It shows that he is a good OC. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, so then we got the first game today, the Houston Texans and the New England Patriots. Another kind of like turnover fest.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question here, because I think we've been, I think G was the one that been most critical of CJ.
Man.
Like last game, he was terrible last game, and then today, 4 interceptions. How do you expect to win, man? With that type of play.
Yeah, the defense, and I think we talked about, the defense pulled them through against last week.
Yeah.
But this week, the defense couldn't pull them through. I mean, the defense tried now.
Yeah.
They was on Drake May. Had Drake May from, I think, 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
He may have lost 2 of those fumbles, but I think he fumbled 4 times and lost 2 of them.
Would you have pulled Stroud at halftime?
I know I was on the phone with my brothers, and they were saying they should have pulled him.
Should have pulled him.
Yeah,
that man was shook. He was shook.
But I guess if you pull him, then what does that do? I mean, he's your franchise guy.
It ain't your day. It ain't your day. You my franchise guy.
But if you pull him, what does that do to his psyche going into the next season?
You just threw 4 interceptions. He ain't doing much better, and we need to win this game.
But I just thought that, and maybe the coach did too. I just thought that if he just done a little bit, the defense can carry you.
Yeah.
And then they got to that point where I think on that last drive, I think the defense was just gassed because Steve was just running through them.
Yeah.
They kept running the ball, and then of course they threw that pass to that number 9, I don't know what his name is, made a heck of a catch in the end zone.
Who was the dude that kept rushing and they couldn't stop this kid? He was coming at
Bill Anderson, 51 from Alabama.
Golly, they couldn't do nothing with that kid. They couldn't do nothing with that dude.
And I was telling him also, this dude is killing you. Sooner or later, you got to put somebody else over there.
Yeah. A tight end, somebody else.
The tackle came, and they showed one time to see the running back is supposed to chip him. Running back didn't even chip him.
Look, went right by him. He looked at him. Didn't chip.
What he do? Come on in and strip Drake May the ball.
Yeah, come on, man. They didn't do
they could not block him, but I think the defense just got gassed. They was playing the majority of the game because, like I said, 4 interceptions and can't move the ball.
Yeah.
So the whole game.
So I got an answer for that, and they do this a lot in college and in high school too. Say for example, when your guy ain't having a good day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't like bench him, go back there, stand next to me. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I put in Davis Mills, and then I say, listen, if Davis is seeing it somewhere different or he's moving somewhere different, I'm talking to my guy right here because they got your number right now. Don't just sit him in the bench and then give him the little blue tablet or whatever. Stand right here, Walk with me and let's see if we can get Davis in there, see if he can do a better job than what you were doing. Because they already have watched the tape on you and they have figured you out.
Or instead of taking him out for the game, maybe take him out for a couple series and see how Davis does.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how you get past that to not bruise your ego or your psyche. And I ain't gonna lie, if it was me as coach, I'd be like, hold tight, hold tight, G. You know what I'm saying? Stand right here next to me because they got your number right now.
Right.
And you're not working through it. So Davis Mills is going in. Let's see what he can do. Or look, James Lil John is getting in there. Let's see if he can do anything different than what you had going on.
Right.
But you are right. Look, Skull said they said put Davis Mills in and trade him at the game.
They calling for. And I know James Lewis said the same thing to me. Should they pull him? But hey, they didn't, so they stuck with the man, and now they're going home.
Yeah.
So now we're down to this game tonight, and that is Chicago and the Rams in a 10-10 tie with about 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
So they say right now that game is 19 degrees, but it feels like 7 because of the wind chill.
Yeah. And they said tonight, I'm not sure when it's going to get there for, but I know I asked Alexa earlier, how cold it's going to eventually get down to -2 in Chicago sometime tonight.
-2.
Yeah.
Man. No. Hey, listen, man, let me tell you something. So Atlanta plays Cleveland next year. I don't know when. My wife was telling me they play Cleveland next year. She want to go to one of them games. I'm gonna say something. I don't enjoy the game like that. If I gotta come in and wipe my seat off with snow on it, you know what I mean?
So they playing Cleveland in Cleveland?
In Cleveland, yes. In Cleveland.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta come wipe snow. Yeah, that's a bit much.
That's a bit much.
And I heard something great. They was talking about what the Rams players were doing to try to keep this warm. I heard them say they put cayenne pepper in their socks.
That, and then 2 of the guys said quarterback, he got on a wetsuit, he put on
Yeah,
they trying whatever they can, you know what I'm saying? Hot peppers, whatever it is to because they ain't used to playing in that kind of weather. But yeah, they got all kind of stuff. Now, one thing I do like on the sidelines, you know, where they sit at, those are heated seats or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so once they get to sitting down, or whenever you take your helmet off, you know, they got those things that bust, you know, throw the air through it. But they were saying the best thing to do is keep.
The coach told him don't take the helmet off. He told him
keep your helmet on.
Put the jackets on. Try to stay warm when you come off the field.
Yep. So what they were saying, they like you just said, when your hands and your feet go, you ain't no good to nobody.
Right. So
they got the heaters over there for your feet, and then, like you said, keep your helmet on so you don't put on a block of ice on top of your head.
They said Devontae Adams has some kind of hand warming into his jersey.
in the jersey.
Yeah. I don't know how they built that in, but
yeah. So
let's talk about so we know what the AFC championship is gonna look like.
Mm-hmm.
So now we got the New England Patriots traveling to 5,280.
You know what? I finally saw
on the helmet.
Yeah, when I saw it on the helmet, and then one guy had it on something else. I said, "Damn, that number." That's why OG know that number.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I know it.
Yeah.
They traveling to Denver, but Denver is minus Bo Nix, their starting quarterback. So they do have a whole week to get ready, get them ready for this AFC Championship game. But that's a heck of a way to start your first game this season in the AFC Championship game against New England, whose defense is playing pretty tough right now too.
This is the one thing that had me dying laughing with that 500. Was it 5,280?
Mm-hmm.
They had the whole offensive line had the little oxygen mask. He said, "I guess they're feeling that 5,280." And I was like, "What? Them dudes over there."
Yeah.
And they always say the best thing to do is you need to get there 2-3 days, maybe at least a week. Sometimes, you know,
try to get acclimated to it.
Get acclimated. If not, if you don't mind not having oxygen, you know, but you need some time to adjust. If they're going up there, they need to get there today or tomorrow. Yeah. You know,
yeah,
because obviously that's a factor to some people. I ain't saying the whole, but if your offensive line is past the oxygen, you know what I mean. So you got to be ready for that. That is a factor.
Yeah, so we got that matchup coming. We can make that pick Wednesday on the show. Wednesday make our pick, but we do know who's in the AFC Championship game right now, and we know one half of the NFC Championship game, with that being the Seattle Seahawks. So the winner of this game going on right now will play the Seattle Seahawks, and my friend Stanley out there is already predicting that the Rams are gonna play New England in the Super Bowl. So he's doing the G thing on me right now. He's predicting, he's looking past Chicago, who they're playing right now, looking past Seattle and saying they're gonna be in the Super Bowl. But it's crazy that if the Rams do win, that the team in the NFC Championship game are gonna be from the same conference, from the same division.
Same division. Yeah. That's gangster right there too.
Yeah.
So who would you want to see?
You know, at first I was saying I want to see Denver, but I think it's just gonna be tough for Denver. I can't. They at home, so that gives them a slight advantage.
With Stidham.
Yeah, but going in without your starting quarterback.
Yeah. So Stidham would have to be able to get at least 2 games in order to win this thing. You know.
Yeah.
This would be the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But I guess my early pick right now is I'm picking New England to beat Denver, all because Bo Nix is not there. Even though Denver has a good defense. But New England's defense has been shining in these last few weeks. I mean, their defense has tremendously changed.
Not to mention Drake May. So let me tell you, I would love to see, because right now they're saying between Drake May and what's my quarterback here at the Rams? Huh?
Stafford.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be, you know, the matchup that you want to see, the two competing guys for the MVP? You know, Drake May, even today when I was sitting there watching bits and pieces of it, you know, that dude ain't bad. You know what I mean? Mike Vrabel will probably end up getting Coach of the Year.
But I don't know. I saw a stat by Drake May today. Drake May is leading the league in fumbles.
He fumbled 3 times a day.
Yeah, he leading the league in fumbles.
Is he leading the league?
Yeah, leading the league in fumbles.
He did a good job on keeping that going because they did 3 of them.
Yeah, but some of them, he's just gonna sense the Will Anderson coming. I think Will Anderson stripped him twice today.
Hey man, he didn't know that dude was coming now. Time, I mean, he ain't have enough time to even realize it. And Will was having a great game. That's why I was like, where's this dude? Why is nobody blocking him?
Yeah, exactly. But I guess we transition to college a little bit. So we're gonna get the NCAA championship game on tomorrow between the Miami Hurricanes and the Indiana Hoosiers.
Okay.
Playing at the home of the Miami Hurricanes, which happens to be the home of the Miami Dolphins also.
Yeah.
So they're playing at home, and I always joking, kid, they playing at their home, but they're gonna be in the visitors' locker room because they're the visiting team.
Miami's the visiting team?
Yeah, that Indiana, number 1 seed.
Yeah, but I guess so. Okay.
Yeah, so they have on Miami have on white jerseys, and they have on their burgundy red, whatever you want to call them jerseys. But I know I just hope. I think right now that I think what I saw is I think Indiana's like a 8-point favorite or something like that. But
maybe more than that.
But I guess the extra incentive for Miami is they playing in their house. They don't let nobody come in their house and beat them.
But the crazy part is Mendoza is from Miami.
Exactly.
Yeah. Went to high school here. His family is here, so he said he's not focusing on being at home. He's gonna focus on the win.
Right.
But Mendoza is good. Now, like I said before, I still consider Beck a dog. You know what I mean? It's like you're coming down here with the skills that you learned from us. Now you got tools. He got some great tools on his team.
So here you go. Here you go. This scenario now.
There you go. You already know this. I already know you going.
Because Beck played years at Georgia.
Yeah.
So now I guess Georgia gets some of this credit if they win.
He got 2 chips with us. Yeah. What you want me to do? What you want me to say? Yes.
Oh man.
I gotta get you learn your jewelry and jewelry. You got your jewelry and jewelry from us.
But you say he's a dog, but I think you picked Indiana, didn't you?
I said I want yes. I did think I want Miami to win, but I know Indiana is the better team. You know what I'm saying?
We will see tomorrow when they strap him on. Game's supposed to start at, I mean, they got Sands gonna start at 7:30, but they probably will start at about 7:45, something like that.
Yeah. And they doing this on Martin Luther King Day, which is it's cool. Oh boy, he about to throw another interception. So I think it's gonna be a good game. I like it when they put the game in a wonderful environment to play. You see what I'm saying? Where weather ain't a factor. I don't know if it's supposed to rain or not, but now it's gonna be a little chilly because of this cold front that's going through. They say it's gonna be a little chillier than Miami normally is because it was snowing in Florida today, right there on the right. So they're gonna get a little.
We got a few flurries here today, but nothing to write home about. But I guess before we end up, is a couple of things I want to touch on. First thing I want to touch on is number 48 right there for the Chicago Bears is from Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
What's that? That's just on. What's his name? Jackson?
Marco Jackson.
Jackson, yeah.
I didn't. I just heard it and I was shocked when they made the announcement. They always say where they're from. Sometimes they say their college or whatever the case may be.
They call that Spartanburg?
He said Spartanburg, South Carolina, but he actually went to another high school in Spartanburg. He went to Broome High School.
What is that? Is that the competition or is that the?
Oh no, they're low level. So Spartanburg is 5A and Broome is like 2A.
Okay.
But yeah, he went to Broome High School, but he is a homeboy from Spartanburg, South Carolina. And the other problem I got is, I don't know if you've seen this latest thing about, I'm not going to say, the man in charge of the United States.
Okay.
That he is trying to make the day that the Army-Navy game is held, give them special time slot for the Army Navy game.
What you mean? What you mean a special time slot?
A special time slot where I guess what you're trying to say is so that no other college game can go on during that time. And now what they said is he's doing it because of the talk of expanding the playoff, the number of teams in the playoffs, that it may go back to that Saturday. I think they play the second Saturday
for Army Navy game.
Yeah, in December.
Yeah.
The problem I have with that is on that same Saturday, the Celebration Bowl is played.
So what does that mean? That they won't show it on TV because of that?
The way this sounds is that he's trying to, I guess, a certain time slot where they be, let's say, from 1 to 5 or whatever the case may be.
Ain't nothing known but them.
Where no other college football game can be played during that time, other than Army Navy.
I like the Army Navy game, but only Army Navy people like that game.
He wants to sign an executive order to give the Army Navy game its own exclusive broadcast time slot.
Hey man, you want to make America watch them. And honestly, look, let's just keep it a buck. We know Army and Navy; those are two. It ain't like they just Army at 11-2 and the Navy at 10-5. They always kind of they low kind of win teams anyway, right?
Yeah. Well, I know Navy was pretty good this year. I think Navy had a pretty good record. They was actually in a decent bowl game this year.
What was Navy's record?
I thought Navy had a pretty good record, Corey.
What was Navy's football record this year? All right, Navy was 9-2. All right. Okay, so ranking them amongst the top teams nationally for a bowl game.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had a pretty good record this year.
They started off at 5-0. Okay.
Now the competition they played, is not top caliber, but still, to be an armed forces school, they have a 9-2 record is pretty good. Because, like you say, usually they don't have good records.
So this year was the first. Okay, they were ranked 22 this year. That was the highest rank that they came into this year. Okay, not bad. That ain't bad. Yeah, for a Navy.
Yeah, so that kind of upset me a little bit. We both are HBCU guys, and that Celebration Bowl has been played on that second Saturday in December for a long, long time. And this usually has been the first bowl game to start that bowl series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that kind of got me a little bit perturbed today. If he does this and he's successful with this, they may have to rearrange and change that.
Yeah. So they at the end of the year, they ended up out of the national ranking. I guess when they start, kind of taking those losses or whatever. I mean, which ain't, like I said, they wasn't terrible, but they pushed them out of the top 25 towards the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but let me ask you this: we hadn't talked about it yet. I guess we have to start. How your Lady Gamecocks doing?
They just had a tough game against Texas on Friday night, where they pulled it out. And your homegirl, the one that pulled it out for him.
Which one?
Raven.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a clutch game at the end, and downstate called a couple plays specific for Raven, and she cashed in.
I know that, right?
Now, I tell you one other thing. I'm glad you brought them up. There's one other thing, too, about them. You know what Don Staley did today?
Mm-mm.
They went and played Chopping State at Chopping State.
And they beat the stew out of them too, though.
They beat them, but for a Division I school to go to an HBCU and play at their school, that's unheard of. That doesn't happen.
But remember, she said that last year because nobody wanted to play against South Carolina. She said, "You know what? Well, I'll get some other teams an opportunity."
Right, but she's actually doing a home and away with them.
Okay, and that's
they went to Chopping State. That's unheard of to go to Chopping State.
Where is that? Where's Chopping State?
They're in the MEAC only in basketball, but I'm not sure exactly where they are. But they play. Now they beat them pretty bad.
Yeah,
she said she was doing it for revenue purposes, just to help help the school, help the HBCU, because of course with South Carolina coming, the game's gonna sell out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought that was great.
when she said that last year, because she said she didn't mind at first. She wanted all the smoke from everybody. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want to put in there, but I'm glad that they gave her the opportunity to choose. I think it's 2 HBCUs on their schedule this year, ain't it? Maybe 3.
I can't remember. I have to go back and look at the schedule. Chapin is in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay. And that, but that's the same. Whenever you do that and you put them on the schedule, because other teams that think, all right, this ain't fair. Okay, well, put me on your schedule. Let's work out a deal. Let's get you on the schedule. Right. Then they were like, oh, well, we ain't trying to do all that. But why? I'm ready. So are they ranked number 2 or are they 3?
They number 2.
They 2. Who won?
UConn.
UConn still won, and LSU 3.
LSU. I'm not sure where LSU is ranked. I have to go. I'm not sure where they ranked at.
Let me see what was.
I don't think I'd be able to see that at one point. Fulwiley wasn't starting.
I don't know what the deal is with Fulwiley.
I think she started a few. They played North Carolina Central earlier this year, who is also in the MEAC.
That's pretty straight. Maybe she picked them. Okay, so it's Connecticut. Oh yeah, UConn, South Carolina, UCLA girls, Texas, Vanderbilt, then LSU. LSU is 6 because they got 2 losses.
Yeah, because Vanderbilt's undefeated.
Yep, 17-0.
And they beat LSU.
LSU with their last win, they moved up 6 spots because they were actually down. They moved up 6 spots.
I think they lost to Texas and they lost to Vanderbilt.
And Texas, I guess they just went down 2 spots. Did they take a loss?
Yeah, South Carolina just beat them.
South Carolina beat Texas. Okay.
Friday.
Well, there you go. You know what I mean? So okay.
Yeah, we getting a lot more now that football season started to tail off. So we get more into basketball.
How many games do they play? Because they got 17-0 right now. How many games do they play?
They play, I think, probably close to 30 games.
Do they? Okay, I didn't know that many in the ladies basketball.
Yeah, cool. Close to 30 games.
That's what's up.
Anything else you want to get into?
I'm glad y'all gave me a minute to get off my chest. What the Falcons are doing to us. That's all been on my head right now. You know what I'm saying? So, I would say this here too. Remember the kid that Deion Sanders gave a chance to at Colorado? What's the guy named Staub or whatever? He's transferring to Tennessee. Right. So right now they're going to lose the other kid that came from Liberty. He still had a kid from Georgia, but I don't know what other quarterbacks he's going to be pulling in. So right now he's lost 2 to the transfer portal. I think the kid Juju is going to be the starter, but I don't know who else Deion is pulling in. But I was watching him. He got some other guys. He got some wideouts, but that was the only thing I was looking at earlier today.
Okay.
But other than that, man,
I failed to mention that our other co-host, she is on assignment, so he may not be here with us on Wednesday either, but I think he'll be back to Next Sunday. So
right, and why you just brought that up? His daughter just graduated from was it culinary art school in London, so congratulations to her. And then I also want to throw a shout out to him. His father's with
Faith and Fatherhood.
Faith and Fatherhood, yes. On February 21st, he'll be hosting a bowling tournament. Well, not a tournament, but just an outing. If you have kids, it's set up to bring fathers back to getting to know their kids better, to getting to know them well, to change the way that fathers are dealing with trying to renegotiate, but reconnect with their children. It's going to be a good outing. I'm bringing my kids and let's have a good time with that. So if you can't support them, go to the Eventbrite for Faith with Fatherhood and sign your kids up, sign yourself up, and let's have a good time. February 21st is when it's going down. Also, last but not least, I want to give a big shout out to my oldest son, Austin. His birthday is coming up on the 20th. It's 19. It's tomorrow. It's 19. Yeah, 19. Man, we got too many children.
You stop it.
Yeah. I know, but yeah, happy birthday to Austin. He'll be turning 14. I watched him grow up to be a wonderful young man, smart individual. Yeah, so happy birthday, Austin Nicholas Davis.
Happy birthday, Austin. Happy birthday.
Yeah, it's tomorrow, Kamari.
So let's thank everybody out there. Thank Ashley for joining. Kamari, James Littlejohn, Rodney Littlejohn, and NF Stowe. I'm showing a lot more people's names. So you right there, put the names in the chat. This is an interactive show. So glad to chat back and forth with you. Straight Bobby stuff. We never claimed to be any experts. It does get heated on here sometimes. Right. So thank y'all for joining us today. And come back and see us on Wednesday. As my man Q will say, keep God first and keep your head on the swivel. We got
Everybody have a good Martin Luther King Day. That man had a dream. Y'all keep your dream alive.
no doubt. Everybody look Day to everybody.